Everybody, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell. Welcome back. Those of you who are returning visitors, we are going to be talking about the movie Avatar: Way of Water, which is the sequel to the original Avatar from back in 2009, highly anticipated sequel. This is the official teaser trailer. I have watched it a couple times. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. It'll be sort of a reaction video, but mostly I want to talk about the production, what went into it, the technology and the reason it's taken so long, kind of my thoughts on the whole Avatar franchise as a whole. Because there's a lot of really cool stuff, I think, from a storytelling perspective. So if you like that kind of stuff, great. Stick around for the whole thing. If you're just here for the reaction video part, that's going to be short because this teaser trailer is a minute 37 seconds long, and that's all it's going to take up of this entire video. So if you want to have a conversation, awesome. Stick around. We'll be talking about this in the comments below. There's also a Discord if you want to join. Links are down there. Come talk about it there as well. And hopefully, if you like the entirety of this video, you will subscribe, hit the bell icon, like the video, and of course, don't forget to drop a super thanks to support the channel or join as a member. Lots of cool perks. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Visually, it looks stunning, but that's to be expected considering who James Cameron is. Music is very ethereal, breathtaking. Yeah. Underwater sequences. Christmas time. Oh, got some human stuff going on. Ornithopters. Oh, he's got a mask on.
I know one thing. Wherever we go, this family.
Ugh, it looks really
Is
cool.
our fortress.
So, Avatar: The Way of Water, cool, coming this winter. That's awesome. I do kind of want to diverge from here. There's a great article over here um, on FX Guide. I don't know if it shows a publication date on this. Oh yeah, it does. May 3rd, 2022. So a few days ago, this was published. And this is right after the 3D presentation of the trailer was shown, and they go into a whole bunch of stuff here. And I kind of want to go down in here, read through a little bit of this stuff, then we can go over the actual wiki page. And I do have, if you'll notice on the top, I have the wiki for the Abyss open up because this isn't the first time that James Cameron has done something water-based. He has had a fascination with the deeps for a long time. If you've followed his career outside of filmmaking, from a scientific perspective, he has been heavily involved with ocean exploration, um, doing crazy, literally what I would call crazy stuff with some of the craziest scientists in the world, like going down into the deep, deep, deep trenches of the ocean where stuff is just, in my mind, scary. Like you can die in a heart, in like in an instant, get smashed flat, and just it's exploration. But the guy has used his money to explore the deeps, the deeps. And if there is one person I think is qualified to make a movie set in an underwater place, I think this is the guy to do it. And it's pretty amazing what has been done from a storytelling perspective. So we're gonna kind of dive into all that today. So again, if you're a first time viewer, you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like, etc., follow along, join, bell icon, all those good things, and etc. Because this is going to be something we talk about a little bit more coming up. And Ubisoft has an amazing open world Pandora game coming out later this year, which I can't wait to play on the Xbox Series X. So you could definitely expect to see that game cropping up, assuming it doesn't get delayed. In my Is It Worth It series, and I'll probably be streaming it at some point. Anyway, Um, it's been 13 years here. This article begs the question: the trailer was incredible in the 3D presentation, but is it worth the wait? Obviously, we're getting Weta Digital here, Weta FX, a set that was almost, I don't want to say it was exclusive, but extensively underwater, etc., etc. The artistry that they talk about here is what's at play here. If you've not watched there's been a lot of like behind the scenes footage that came out over the last year about the sets they built and the tanks that they were filming in and the lengths they had to go to with learning, underwater, breathing techniques, not breathing to breathe underwater, but breathing techniques to to last as long as they can underwater for the filming, from the actor standpoints. And I guess it's rumored that Kate Winslet broke like a world record and even broke Tom Cruise's record, and she held her breath for like 7+ minutes or something, which is ridiculous. But again, rumored. I don't have any way of knowing if that's true or not. Um, it was a 3-year film shoot that started in California, but the bulk of it did take place in New Zealand. There's some production stuff that's really interesting about this, which we'll get into when we dive into the wiki and related to why Cameron set everything in New Zealand, why he built his film studios there and everything else. Because tax cuts being a big thing, but he got some pretty big tax breaks for setting all of his main studios in New Zealand. I believe up to 25%, but they had to invest, half a million dollars, half a billion, sorry, 450 million, I think. We're diving into that in a minute. I'm rambling at this point. Some really cool stuff that was designed for this set. Kate Winslet doing filming underneath. Um, it's just underwater mocap stuff. It's pretty impressive, just the level of everything that they did in terms of motion capture performance. Um, I'm terrified of deep water, so the idea of having to learn how to film and learn how to hold my breath, learn how to do all these things, it's impressive to me that these actors not only learn their lines and dialogue and everything else. But this is a experience that transcends anything that you're ever gonna do as an actor. So getting on stage, everyone can do that. Filming on a set, anyone can do that. Filming in the world, in the wilds, anyone can do that. But having to spend 6 months training your lungs to do huge underwater sequences for months and months and months, 3 years of principal photography, that is impressive, considering that this was just for basically, I believe, only for one film, because the other ones are yet to be completed. Um, it's crazy. Um, what did I talk about? Elite of Battle Angel here. Oh, Weta. Okay, they're talking about some of the shots from that film. Um, titanium adjustable beam splitter rig. This is just some really cool stuff about the technology of light loss and underwater filming because of the way water breaks things up. Um, First time ever, the ability to capture the true beauty of cinematography with 6K images from edge to edge. It's ridiculous from a technological standpoint. And again, I'm not going to dive through this entire article. You can definitely read this at your leisure. From a technological standpoint, it's amazing what they're doing with this film. Just that alone. Now, production wise, um, this goes all the way back to the first film being a success, and Cameron stating that if the first movie was successful in 2006, he would make two sequels. Then in 2011, a couple years after, when it had made all the money, he said, "Yep, we're going to do it. We're going to film in 2014." And this is where it talks about an agreement with the New Zealand government required at least one world premiere to be held in Wellington and at least 500 million New Zealand. At the time, that was 410 million, which these days it's more like 500 million, to be spent on production activity in New Zealand, including live action visual effects. New Zealand government announced it would raise baseline tax rebates up to 25% for international productions, etc., and up to 40% for New Zealand productions. So they're getting some huge tax breaks. Then in 2012, he was mentioning a third sequel, which was then officially confirmed. looking to release Avatar 2 in 2015, and here we are in 2022, 7 years later. So this movie has been through production. I don't want to say production hell because it wasn't production hell. It was just James Cameron being a perfectionist and wanting to get the technology right. And to be honest with you, what he did with Avatar was so amazing from a technological and filmmaking standpoint. That's the reason that Avatar broke all these world records, and he's looking to do the same again here with this film. Um, Now, here's where we get into the storytelling aspect of things with the writing and everything else. Um, he originally started off going, I'm going to make a couple of sequels. And then he went, whoa, 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 wait, I can do this whole thing and we can have this huge story that's on these other planets and we can do two, three, four, five. We can do four more movies on top of the original and have this, generation spanning storyline that's following the storyline of the principal characters played by Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana. Um, Zoldania, sorry. Saldana. Why am I butchering her name when I speak Spanish? It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I need more coffee. It's been a long morning. Um, Cameron even said he compared the sequels to the Godfather franchising, calling this a generational family saga, which is a continuation of the same characters and about what happens when warriors, when they go on suicide charges and leap off cliffs on the back of big orange Torex, grow up and have their own kids. Now the kids are the change makers. It's interesting. Um, when he was discussing the film, he says Cameron mentioned that the character of Tuck was 8 years old, and the film is going to feature a scene between Jake and Neytiri taking place from Tuck's perspective. He said there's a three-page argument scene between the two parents, very critical to the storyline. He said I shot it all from the point of view of an 8-year-old hiding under a structure and peeking in. Um, that's really cool. That's really really cool. Um, the performance capture stuff is for me really fascinating. That FX article dives into it a lot, but it's the storyline stuff from my perspective. If you read through everything that's being done, I think there's a discussion somewhere. I might not have it open in this one, but they've had here it is, marketing. Stephen Gould has been hired to write four novels based on the four sequels, starting with Avatar 2. So we're definitely getting four additional films. Now, here's where things get a little muddled because as I understand things, Fox has only officially greenlit Avatar 2 and Avatar 3, which are the two official sequels, and then 4 and 5 have yet to be officially greenlit because it's going to be based on performance for 2 and 3. I don't think we have to worry about these films being financed because Cameron has proven over the course of his career that he is an excellent fundraiser. If you go back in his career and look at the way he funded his first film, where he went out and got money from a bunch of dentists and got everybody just to invest in this film he was making, like he's always been really good at finding a way to make things happen regardless of the challenges in front of him. Plus, he's independently got enough money. I think he could take care of funding these things on his own. And I don't think the New Zealand government is going to want to let these movies fail because for them, it's as big as The Lord of the Rings was. So it's kind of going from we had Lord of the Rings 20 years ago, giving New Zealand this massive boost in tourism and everything else, and now we're going to have these Avatar films, which were largely filmed on location in New Zealand. So it's just it's a good thing all around for everybody involved. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of moving parts. And when you talk about a generational saga that spans five storylines, um, five films, five different storylines, and all connect with each other while all having closed endings. That's pretty impressive to think about from a writing perspective. But also when you go back to the world building from um, the ocean standpoint, the deep water standpoint, and having the research to go in and do your own ecosystem under the water and how are you going to flesh it out and make it alien but yet relatable to the humans who are going to be watching this film. I think this is where Cameron himself, doing all these deep dives and exploration into the ocean, has been able to take some of his personal experience and working with some of the world's best oceanographers and scientists and inject it into the film. I have no doubt that this is going to be a spectacle, um, on a level that we have yet to see from film. So For me, I'm not like hyped about this. I'm definitely excited about this, and I'm gonna go watch it, and I'm expecting to be thrilled and wowed at the theater. I remember watching when the Avatar first came out. I went and saw it in 3D in IMAX. I was living in Bulgaria at the time, and it was the first time in my life I had ever watched a 3D movie and felt wowed by the experience. Because most time 3D is I don't even bother with it. Like it's lame. It's lazy. It's just lame. I don't like it. But Avatar in 3D on IMAX was out of this world. It was an out of body experience, and the technology has come so much further in the years since then. I really do hope that I have the opportunity to see it in IMAX. But even if not, it was still an amazing experience outside of that. And I think the graphics have held up fairly well. The special effects have held up fairly well over the years. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this film's going to bring to the table this December. Is it going to be a spectacle? I have no doubt. Um, those are my thoughts. I don't know. Love to hear your thoughts below. Drop your comments down there. And if you want to do this content creator a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, all those good things so you can get updates for future content. Don't forget to check out the other playlists here on YouTube. We have a gaming community. There's a Discord down below. I stream almost every single day. And if you want to take the time to help, which would be awesome if you could throw a super thanks on this video or join as a member, there's lots of cool perks. You can also go to patreon.com/wandering hermits, which is that world map behind me. It's the world, The Weave in the Void, that I'm making with my brother, my wife, Nathan Napalm's helping out. Our 5th edition tabletop setting. The books are out in June 1st, and then there's also a point-and-click adventure game like King's Quest, if you like those old games, out later this year. You can download the free demo today, and there's a book series, kind of like Dragonlance, where the chapters are published all through Patreon. So check that out. Hopefully we'll see you over there and in Discord, and definitely here in the next episode. Stay safe, everybody. Happy watching.